We are building Destiny's future today, right inside of Destiny 2. It starts with Beyond Light coming this fall.
It's going to continue with the next major expansion, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall is going to kind of drive this all to a moment. These 3 releases represent this new era in Destiny. These eras began really in 2014 with that era of light where, players entered Destiny for the first time. They were resurrected. They went to the tower. They learned about the things the children were scared of. And, we exited that era when we became Guardians.
We are now coming out of an era of loss of our powers, one of our mentors, our innocence, and soon we will be entering an era of darkness. And if it's not clear, we are all in on Destiny 2.
Last year, we laid out a vision for the game that we wanted to build the definitive action MMO, place it in an awesome evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. We are still completely committed to this ambitious vision, and we're going to continue reaching to deliver it in Destiny 2. And to be clear, listen, I'm sure over here in the Twitch chat, there's some mix of salt and space dad. We haven't gotten everything right out of the gate. For example, we've already begun working on changes that we're going to make to our seasonal model in year 4 to get a bunch of the FOMO that's in the game right now out of it. And this is a response not only to your feedback, but just, we took it in the wrong direction. You can lay that at me. We're also working on things like transmog, and that's going to be an experience that means armor is kind of always valuable to you because it can always represent a look for you to chase. And we've got a bunch of other improvements to the experience that we're working on. Things like the quest log's going to get another awesome revision. We've got small touches, a oft requested one. And I think when we started Beyond Light, this was one that I made to Mike Zach
getting a dark title screen back in Destiny so that the light white heat of the title screen doesn't light up your entire apartment at 2 a.m. So there are the small features, but then there's also some big features, and maybe one of the biggest is next generation support.
I think one of the most exciting things we're going to talk about is the game's going to run at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution on the new hardware.
We're also really happy to say that whatever content you already own or will own in Destiny 2 will come with you to your next generation console of choice at no extra charge. On PlayStation, you'll be able to upgrade to PlayStation 5 for free, and on Xbox, we will support smart delivery also for free. In plain English, this means if you own Destiny 2 expansion content on those platforms now or in the future, or by Beyond Light in September, you can keep playing on the same family consoles for free without buying the expansions again. We think that's going to be awesome. And you don't have to worry about busting up your friends list either, because we're going to support intergenerational crossplay within each console platform ecosystem as well. This means that if your brother's playing on PS4 and your sister's playing on PS5, all 3 of you can play together. And we're going to do the same thing in the Xbox ecosystem. This year we're focused on intergenerational play. Hopefully next year we can finally do the thing and get them all playing together in the same ecosystem.
Yes. So Shadowkeep was cool, and Shadowkeep brought back the moon and upgraded and enhanced it. And so we brought a destination out of the vault and, spruced it up, and that's where you got to play. We're not doing that with this fall's destination, Europa. It's a brand new place you've never been before. And both the Witch Queen and Lightfall are going to also include brand new, never before seen destinations. These expansions will stretch out across a timeline that's going to bring much anticipated enemies to the forefront and hopefully deliver some twists, turns, drama that we don't think anyone's going to see coming.
But to deliver these big content beats each and every year and keep building on top of our seasonal experiences while making technological leaps forward, we also need to make some big changes to the way we treat some of our older legacy content.
The stuff that maybe is getting a little long in the tooth that you're not really looking at and playing anymore. You're not.
Destiny 2 is a huge game. We have 9 destinations, 40 story missions, 54 adventures, 42 lost sectors, 17 strikes, 31 PvP maps, 7 raids, and hundreds of game systems that layer on top of that. I could go on, and I probably screwed up one of those numbers. The fact is, the game is too large to efficiently update and maintain. We're on track to be like 115 gigabytes on PlayStation alone, and our updates to the game are huge, and we're starting to reach the limits of our ability to patch.
We don't want to start over from scratch and build a sequel. And in order to make a sequel, we would have to stop supporting Destiny 2. Like, it would effectively go dark.
You know, we talk about a single evolving world, not multiple evolving worlds, but a single evolving world. And we don't want people to have to start over. We don't want to have that loss of continuity with our game systems and our communities and all the players together.
We don't want to put another number on the box. So instead, here's our plan. Each year, just as a new expansion comes out, we're going to cycle older, less actively played activity and destination content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. Moving content into this vault is going to allow us to add support for D2 for years, including Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall. This vault is also going to allow us to take content from Destiny 1, do some work on it, get it ready to come back into the Destiny 2 ecosystem. So we're not just going to be taking stuff away, we're also going to be going into the classic vault and kind of bringing some stuff back, or unvaulting activity and destination content each year.
Thinking about the greatest hits of Destiny, right? Like, what are the new tracks we can lay down? What's something from the past that was like pretty cool that could be made even better if it existed today? And what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of awesome stuff that the team has built over the 6 years of making Destiny, and that Destiny 2 players totally have missed out on. Like, later this year, Destiny 1's Cosmodrome is coming back this fall as a selectable destination. Its 3 strikes are also going to come back during Season 12 and Season 13, and part of the awesome thing here is a bunch of players haven't played Sepix. Sepix was the strike from the beta way back in like summer 2014. It is the oldest,
like the definitive like original strike that we felt like hit the right notes.
Yeah,
in Destiny 1, right? And we left all that behind when we made Destiny 2, and we're saying like, we don't want to do that again. Well, let's not do that again, but let's also reach into the past and like bring it into the present.
There's a lot of great content in our past, and maybe this year we'll see a classic raid come back. I think it'd be pretty amazing this year to see the Vault of Glass kind of unvaulted and returned in front of players. Like, I can imagine things like champion Praetorians instead of just regular Praetorians, and kind of updating it slightly to the modern context, but still preserving that like classic feel.
This fall when the expansion comes out, not only are we going to be bringing back Cosmodrome and adding Europa, but we're going to look at some of that content that's been in the game for a long time, that's been free, that isn't actively played, and that's when some of that is going to be vaulted.
Well, after the show, we're going to have a much more in-depth article that you can read on our plans for vaulting content on Bungie.net, and why we're taking this unprecedented approach and what it means for the game this year and for the game going forward. We're also going to be conducting a bunch of interviews to answer your big questions, and we will continue the conversation with coverage in our ongoing This Week at Bungie community conversations, as well as there will be a bunch of player support and DPS articles about this all summer long. You know, we've placed a bunch of bets on the Destiny Cosmic board, whether it's the Traveler waking up, whether it's the Stranger dissolving after telling you, there's so much more to explore out there. And so we're going to start to bring a bunch of these threads home, and here's a look at the beginning of those threads coming home to roost this summer in Season of Arrivals.